Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is March 28th, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery. You can see the state of California is here, Hawaiian Islands to the bottom left. Check out the low pressure center sitting off the Pacific Northwest, but this is the storm system here, the much talked about one. This is going to be a very powerful system here, folks, and it's going to look quite interesting on the satellite imagery. Some big waves, some big winds, big precipitation totals, and some heavy mountain snows across the higher terrain. Some convective activity as well. Would not be surprised to see out weaker brief tornadoes and some water spout activity with this storm over the next few days. We're going to dive into those details as we go through the video here this morning, taking a look at the visible satellite imagery this morning. So as the sun rises, you'll notice that cool air out here. The cold air cumulus is going to be moving over the area. We do have a thunderstorm threat here today, and you can see the development of the next storm off to the north and west. If we take a look at the snowfall forecast for today, can't rule out some measurable snow for the higher terrain, possible chain controls. You can see the snow levels rather low, 3,500 to 4,500 feet. Some minor impact suspected, but this is not the big snowmaker coming up. That's coming on for Friday and Saturday. Looking at the chance of thunderstorms today, just does include Sacramento, Yuba City, Chico, and Redding. Small hail, lightning, brief heavy rain, and some gusty winds. That's this evening and this afternoon and evening coming up here. And check out the lightning strike I caught there just outside of SeaTac yesterday. I actually hit this plane, and you can see it impact the Puget Sound here. So this is a shot I've been trying to get for probably over 10 years now, and it finally happened yesterday. I was quite thrilled with how this turned out. Now, taking a look at the snowfall forecast Friday through Saturday, look at some of these amounts across the higher terrain, including Donner Pass and I-80 out there. Going to be chain controls going on. Check before you go. Look at the lower snow levels. Definitely going to be impacting the pass areas across the Sierra Nevada. And again, Friday through Saturday, March 29th through 30th. This is the wind advisory, and this is for that next storm coming up here. You can see some of these big gusts expected to roll in here for some of the coastal areas who might include some of the higher terrain of the Bay Area as well. And this is going to go across a lot of the Sierra Nevada, the higher terrain of Southern California also. Now, looking at probable storm total rainfall, you can see Santa Barbara up over 2 inches, some of the Los Angeles metro right around 2 inches as well. And there's thunderstorm chances. And a lot of this is going to come fast and furious, pretty robust subtropical tap, let's call it here, with the storm system rolling in the area. It will be progressive, though, but it's going to come in kind of a 1-2 punch. We're going to get that initial atmospheric river activity, and then we're going to have the convection going on for a day or two across much of the southern portions of California as well, including some of the central coast also. So we'll take a look at that in the weather models here in a moment. But if we look at the rainfall forecast through Monday, look at San Diego, 1.5 inches, 2 inches there. And again, some Los Angeles metro, something similar, and higher amounts across the higher terrain, and some snowfall with this system as well. Look at 6,000 to 6,500 feet. Big Bear Lake, 12 to 18 inches. Look at Wrightwood up over a foot as well. So heads up across the higher terrain there. And there is a little bit of a chance there for I-5 to pick up a little bit of snowfall as well. So watch out going back and forth on I-5. And looking at this is for Friday tomorrow. You can see they have introduced the slight across some portions, Santa Barbara County out there, and some marginal up across the Bay Area, includes Sacramento. And if we look at day 3 for Saturday, check it out. Most of Southern California is included in that one. And then day 4, a couple of token marginals on as the system continues its way out off to the east. And if we look at Donner Summit, you can clearly see the snowfall totals are going to be ramping up as we go through this weekend. Snow levels generally below 6,000 feet. So this is going to be it's going to cause some travel difficulties out there. So check before you go. Make sure to have your chains with you before you head out. And if you want a nice affordable home weather station, quite an attractive unit here. It's got solar power. It's got a lightning detection system with it as well, ultrasonic anemometer, and a haptic rain gauge. Highly recommend this station. Click on the link down below for 10% off. Smartphone app is here as well, and you can see there's all kinds of information you can click on and get graphs for, and it stores all the data for you in the cloud. Now, looking at the North American model composite reflectivity, you can see the shower activity as we go through the day today. Nothing too crazy, but then this next storm system is going to come in here hot and heavy as we go through Friday morning into Friday afternoon. There's going to be some heavy rainfall, some strong winds. You can see the atmospheric river feature moving into Southern California as we go on in through the day Saturday, swooping all the way down across San Diego. And then we're going to have the upper level low to deal with as well as we go through the day Sunday. This is still going to be hanging out, and you could have water spout potential, brief tornado, dangerous lightning, some gusty winds. And now looking at lightning flash density potential, this is for today. You can see it kind of bubbling around out there, and not too big of a deal. But as we get towards the weekend, things are going to change. As we go on towards Saturday, you'll see we destabilize across much of the region here. And Sunday, we're going to do a repeat also, and this includes much of Southern California, even some of the deserts towards Las Vegas. and maybe some of western Arizona as well. This would be about 4 p.m. Sunday afternoon. But if we look at day one, they do include some of the Sierra Nevada here also. Here's day two, some of the coastal areas. Then day three does include Los Angeles, San Diego, Santa Barbara, and the Bay Area. Now, looking at the precipitable water, I just want to kind of show you the visual diagram here. This is the frontal system moving through now, kind of falling apart as it does so. But this is the next storm spinning up here, going to set up right off the Bay Area. And you can see its subtropical tap here, driving this back into Santa Barbara. Transverse ranges, peninsular ranges, some heavy rainfall coming fast and furious. Got mudslide potential with that and some flooding concerns here. So stay tuned to your local authorities when the storm comes rolling in here. And again, if I back this up, you can see this atmospheric river really digging into some of the central coast here by the time we go on into late Friday morning and Friday afternoon, Friday night, then Saturday morning. This is making its way down across the Los Angeles metro and the San Diego metro, finally kicking its way out by the time we go towards Saturday night. And if we look at the upper levels of the atmosphere, I like to show this one too to kind of give you an idea what's going on above us. You can see that very cold air aloft is driving the storm system here, kind of this bowling ball at 18,000 feet rolling across the southwest. So if we look at wind speeds also, just kind of pointing out this potential here as you see the storm wrapping up off the coastline, coastal areas, big winds, higher terrain, peninsular ranges, transverse ranges here as well. And then that low is going to be with this. This is Saturday afternoon. It's still going to be hanging out there. So Sunday is going to be a very active weather day across much of central and southern California into Arizona and Las Vegas as well, Las Vegas area. Here's looking at the European. So there's that low for the Pacific Northwest. And our storm here quickly wrapping up. And you can see some very heavy rainfall, but it is fairly progressive. But then we have to deal with some of this convective activity as we go through the day Sunday, and then it starts to kick off as we go through Monday afternoon. But we can still kick off a few thunderstorms across Southern California, maybe even Las Vegas and some of Arizona and New Mexico on Monday afternoon. By the time we go towards Tuesday afternoon, this system is starting to push off to the east, and we may get a break, but again, we'll break that down day by day. If things can change quickly at this time of year. Significant wave height. So as this frontal system is coming down on in through tonight, you can kind of see the wave action is increased, and this next storm system is going to keep it elevated all the way in through this weekend. So heads up if you're headed out towards the coastline out there, you've got interest on the coast because wave activity is going to be elevated probably all the way on in through Monday. Here's total precipitation in inches on the National Blend of Models. We'll put this into motion and you can see nice precipitation amounts. This goes through Sunday morning as the atmospheric river is moving down across Southern California. And yeah, some healthy amounts across some of the coastal areas and not bad for some of the interior areas as well, maybe towards a half an inch. And there could be some thunderstorm activity hit and miss across some of the desert areas as well. But the big amounts are going to happen along some of the higher terrain of the Southern California mountain ranges there as we go on in through this weekend. Now looking at total snow 10-to-1 ratio. So this is the initial system here, then a little bit of a break before the next one comes rolling in here. And you can see some nice snowfall amounts, even across Southern California, according to the European model here. So interesting stuff. We did talk about that a little bit at the beginning of the model run, the video here this morning. But yeah, nice snowfall amounts. Have your chains ready. Be prepared. It's definitely going to be winter driving conditions across the higher terrain, especially the Sierra Nevada. Now, taking a look at the total snow on the National Blend of Models, just kind of matching things up with what we just saw in the European. Big snowfall amounts, and it's starting to kind of trend higher across some of the Southern California higher terrain as well. So good to see that model agreement there. 6 to 10 day temperature outlook above average starting to show up here as we go on into early April. We'll see how that trends, though. No promises just yet. That can change pretty rapidly. Here's the 6 to 10 day, a little sliver of below average across some of the West Coast. But the 8 to 14 day is also below average here. So this is showing up April 4th to April 10th and kind of bring in that precipitation back above average here as we go through April 10th. So yeah, eyes on the sky today. Mainly across the Bay Area north for some of that thunderstorm activity. But this storm system is really going to get ramped up here as we go through the day Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday as it progresses down the state, and probably one more day Monday of some thunderstorm potential across some of Southern California as well. So anyway, hope you guys are liking these videos. Click like and subscribe. We'll do this again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.